Hi there, my name is Turk, and today I will be telling you the story of how Teflon was discovered. Not every invention was created on purpose. In fact, some inventions aren't inventions at all, but more of an accidental discovery. What I mean by that is during a reaction, during a process, something happened, an outside force did this, something changed during your process that gave you a different outcome than you were expecting. It gave you a new product, something you have never seen before, with properties that are unknown. Could be good properties, could be bad properties, we don't know. Teflon is one of these accidental discoveries, but it was found to have remarkable properties. And here's the story of how Teflon was discovered. In 1938, chemist Dr. Roy Plunkett in a Newport lab was working with various gases trying to find a safe alternative to the current refrigerants being used. The problem with the current refrigerants being used was the gases inside the refrigerant had toxic properties, and this was causing the foods inside the refrigerator to become toxic also, and this was causing people in their homes. It was causing people in the food industry to become sick when working with these different gases inside the refrigerator. So, what Newport had Plunkett do was his job was to find new and safer alternative gases that could be used and didn't have the toxic properties and were more efficient than the current gases being used. And one of the gases that he was going to try to use was tetrafluoroethylene, or TFE. So what he did was he took this gas and he put it in cylinders, and he put the cylinders at very, very low temperatures, around the temperature of dry ice, which we all know is very low. And one day he came back to use the gas that had been sitting at this low temperature, and he found something very strange. The gas was gone, but yet the weight inside all the cylinders was the same, and this shocked him. He found this remarkable. So he took a closer look, and he found that inside the cylinder was a white solid. So he decided to examine the solid, as a good scientist would do, to find out what happened. And what he found out that the gas had become polymerized and had formed polytetrafluoroethylene, or PTFE, which is all you really need to know about that. It's not that important. But what is important is that this created Teflon, the PTFE. And what's more important than that is the different properties that were associated with this white solid. And one of the first properties that he noticed was that this Teflon was extremely, extremely heat resistant. I mean, you could heat it up to almost 550 degrees Fahrenheit, and the Teflon would not melt. The only thing that would happen is become very, very malleable, which was also a good property, because you could form it into just about anything you wanted to, because it would change its shape so easily at this high temperature. And also on the reverse end, it could reach anywhere from negative 350 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning that it could be in very cold temperatures and still keep its properties. Another property that you noticed was it was not very chemically reactive, meaning that you could mix it with chemicals and the Teflon would remain the same. The chemicals would not react with the Teflon, which is very nice because it could be used in labware, which is actually one of the big uses used today. Another thing is that it was very slippery. It's actually one of the slipperiest elements in existence today. And one reason why that is so good is because nothing really sticks to it. It doesn't wear away because everything just rolls right off it. So, for example, bearing pads. Teflon is used in a lot of bearing pads. and this allows the branding pad to not wear down as easily. And another use, and the most common use today, is in cooking. What I mean by that is pots and pans. The reason why it's used so much in pots and pans is because it can be heated up and nothing will happen to the metal and the food will not stick to your Teflon. So that is why it's so good for that. Even though Teflon was an accidental discovery, it was considered a flash of genius, a lucky accident, and it led to the discovery of an extremely useful substance.